This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound, light, and expectation. This day has been waiting especially for you. This day has been waiting to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms just for you. This is the day that we have been given. Let's not waste it. Now I'm going to introduce this first hymn, and actually all three of the hymns that we're going to be doing today, because they have some special significance to today. So the first hymn is 131, Love Will Guide Us. This hymn is by Sally Rogers, a multifaceted artist known as a folk musician, songwriter, children's educator, and actress. The tune was named Olympia after Olympia Brown, the first woman to be fully ordained in America in a Universalist church. Like many before her and many since, she was warned, and explanation was given. Nevertheless, she persisted. So join us in body or spirit in singing Love Will Guide Us, number 131. Please rise as you are willing and able.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
So your order of service does have some announcements in it. I'm going to just point out a couple of them. Reverend Joseph is away in Vienna and visiting Unitarian Universalist colleagues in Prague, March 25th through April the 4th. He'll be back on April the 5th, and please contact the office during that time for any requests or needs. We are having a dinner here next week. Next Sunday after the service, it's an Italian potluck. And so that's very interesting that we have a theme. And so remember, there's a lot more things in Italian food other than pasta and pizza. Google search it. So please bring anything that you would like, except for first we want you to sign up downstairs. There's a poster board, I believe, still down there to sign up on for that potluck. And then another thing is our children are going to be remaining with us in the service today because I'm not going to be there to teach. So they'll have to listen to me in here and do a fun activity. So don't leave, okay? Okay. So I'm looking at you girls. Okay. You might have noticed books around by the windowsills. Now, we always have books around the windowsills lately, so maybe you haven't noticed them, but this morning I did go through and I changed every one of them to a book about women and girls. So you can have a look at those at some point. Okay, and our final announcement is that Bob Siebold's memorial service is Saturday, April the 5th. Okay, and also we did have Jim Ray pass away, I think it was this morning, in hospice. So I would like to have a moment of silence for his passing. He was really a strong member of this church, and he's going to be missed. Now I would like to invite Brandy Wagner up. She's going to say some words for our chalice lighting.
Clover was supposed to talk today, but they had to return to college early to support a friend, so you're stuck with me. International Transgender Day of Visibility, or referred to Trans Day of Visibility, is an annual event occurring every March 31st since 2009, dedicated to celebrating transgender people and raising awareness of discrimination faced by transgender people worldwide, as well as a celebration of their contributions to society. The first International Transgender Day of Visibility was held on March 31st, 2009. As the parent of a trans kid, I feel like I should be scared due to the turbulent, uneasy times we are living in, but I want to share with you that I have hope. I wish all trans people could find a welcoming home like this church, like Clover has. I feel happy that Clover has such supportive friends, and they found a great school that has gender-inclusive housing and still offers gender studies courses. Clover fought hard at their public high school to make positive changes for the trans community, and that has prepared all of us to not give up and be silent in these crazy times. So another hope is that tomorrow, on Trans Visibility Day, we reflect on how far we've come and remember you are never alone. Stay proud and keep fighting.
So we have more chalice lighting words. Now these words are from the University of Washington webpage. They just really spoke to me. The roots of Women's History Month as a national commemoration run all the way back to March 8, 1857, when women from various New York City factories staged a protest over poor working conditions. The first Women's Day celebration in the United States was in 1909, also in New York City. In 1911, March 8th was designated International Women's Day.
In 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued the first presidential proclamation declaring Women's History Week to align with the long-standing International Women's Day. The next year, Congress designated the second week of every March as National Women's History Week.
In 1987, after being petitioned by the National Women's History Project, Congress authorized the president to designate each March as Women's History Month, a celebration of the contributions and achievements of women to the social, political, economic, and cultural course of American history.
From Abigail Adams' influencing, to Sacagawea's guiding, to Sojourner Truth's orating, to Harriet Tubman's emancipating, to Clara Barton's caring.
To Elizabeth Cady Stanton's and Susan B. Anthony's organizing, to Amelia Earhart's daring, to Margaret Singer's innovating.
To Eleanor Roosevelt's activating, to Jeanette Rankin's glass ceiling shattering, to Georgia O'Keeffe's creating, to Sister Rosetta Tharpe's inventing.
To Grace Hopper's computing, to Dolores Huerta's protecting, to Rachel Carson's eye-opening, to Rosa Parks resisting, to Lucille Ball's entertaining, to Maya Angelou's writing.
To Gloria Steinem's advocating, to Shirley Chisholm's trailblazing, to Katharine Graham's commanding, to Barbara Walters' reporting, to Vera Wang's couture designing.
to Oprah Winfrey's cultural defining, to Ruth Bader Ginsburg's judging, and many, many more. The course of American history has been written and revised by courageous visionaries, persistent women. Now we will light our chalice. So now you are invited to turn and greet your neighbors. Talk.
Whenever you're ready.
My hand got in the way. Our friend Tracy has our children's story for the day.
This is the monologue from the Barbie movie that America Ferrera gives Gloria about the difficulties of being a woman, played by Barbie. It is literally impossible to be a woman. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say that you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy. But really, you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane. But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood. But always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You need to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or even says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman I know tie herself into knots so that people will like us.
Now it's time for our covenant, which is in your order of service. And children, you'll be happy to know you can just stay right where you are. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
We pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessings of abundance and to support our community in a tangible way. This month, our offering goes to the church's operating budget to support the mission of this church. Our mission is to build a diverse and transformative spiritual community, help people live lives of wholeness, and promote justice, peace, and religious freedom. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of our church, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world. From a Facebook post by Tova Lee. Sunita Williams returned to Earth after 9 months on the International Space Station, an absolutely incredible achievement. While she was up there, she contributed to groundbreaking experiments, tackled technical challenges, and even did spacewalks like the boss she is. But instead of focusing on her work and the insane dedication it takes to literally live in space, so much of the conversation has been about her appearance. People were talking about her gray hair. Yes, space changes your body. Shocking. And the fact she's the first mother in space. And I can't help but wonder, was the first dad in space ever introduced that way? Were his gray hairs the headline? Probably not. This happens to women all the time. Even when we break barriers and make history, the focus so often shifts to what we look like or our personal lives. It's because as a society, there's still this underlying belief that a woman's place is at home with the kids. So when a woman goes to work or space, motherhood suddenly becomes a big deal, as if we're defying nature by achieving greatness. Sunita deserves so much better than this outdated narrative. She's a literal astronaut, a Navy captain, and a pioneer in space exploration. Can we please focus on that? She's not just breaking glass ceilings. She's breaking the freaking stratosphere.
Our next hymn is 1026, If Every Woman in the World, by Karen McKay. This hymn was written in 1984 by West Virginia singer-songwriter Karen McKay to express her strong belief in the power of women to influence global culture and bring peace to the world. Please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 1026, If Every Woman in the World. That's in your teal hymnal.
If every woman in the world had her mind set on freedom, if every woman in the world dreamed a sweet dream of peace, if every woman of every nation, young and old, each generation, her hand out in the name of love, there would be no more war. If every man in the world had his mind set on freedom, if every brother stood with brother as a witness for peace, if every man of every nation, young and old, each generation held his hands out in the name of love, there would be no more war. If every leader in the world shared a vision of freedom, if every leader in the world shared a sweet dream of peace, if every leader of every nation worked for justice and liberation, holding hands out in the name of love, there would be no more war. If every nation in the world set a true course for freedom, if every nation raised its children in the culture of peace, if all our sons and all our daughters reached in friendship, crossed the waters, refusing to be enemies, there would be no more war, no more war.
We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap. The ones of change lie from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time to lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
We need to come together. We are at the end of Women's History Month. Last day of the month is tomorrow. But we also may be at the end of Women's History Month if some people have their way. Yes, gender bias still exists. Women remain underrepresented in nearly all arenas of power and influence. They are paid less. They are still being mutilated. They are being abducted, abused, objectified, and even in this country by its leaders, treated as if they are here to serve man. I am angry that we still have to do this. We still have to fight, and harder. Women's rights are human rights that need to be constantly fought for at home and around the world. We need to come together. As we mentioned earlier in our chalice lighting on March 8, 1857, women, garment and textile workers in New York City staged a protest against low wages, long hours, and poor working conditions, marking one of the first organized strikes by working women. But there is another story I want to lift up. It goes back a little further in the Bible. In the Bible, there's the story of Ruth that centers around two women, Ruth and her mother-in-law, Naomi, who find themselves in a challenging circumstance after the death of their husbands. Rather than turning against each other or succumbing to despair, Ruth and Naomi bonded together to support and lift one another up. One of the most striking aspects of Ruth's story is her commitment to Naomi, despite the obstacles they face. After the death of their husbands, Ruth could have easily abandoned Naomi and returned to her own family. However, Ruth chooses to stay by Naomi's side, declaring, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." This act of selflessness and loyalty not only demonstrates Ruth's deep love for Naomi, but also showcases the power of female solidarity in times of crisis. Throughout the book, we see how Ruth and Naomi support each other emotionally and practically. As they return to Naomi's homeland, Ruth takes on the responsibility of providing for both herself and her mother-in-law by gleaning in the fields. Despite facing discrimination and hardship as a foreigner, Ruth remains steadfast in her dedication to caring for Naomi. In turn, Naomi offers guidance and wisdom to Ruth, helping her navigate the complexities of their situation. By the end of the story, Ruth eventually marries Boaz, a kinsman of her former husband, and becomes an ancestor of the King of David. We need to come together. The course of American history has been written and revised by courageous visionaries, persistent women. Women have played integral roles in shaping societies, driving progress, and advocating for change. Yet, despite their significant contributions, women continue to face barriers that prevent them from fully realizing their potential. Imagine what it would be like tomorrow if women from around the world came together to change the world. It was Helen Keller that said, "Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much." The impact of such collaboration could be tremendous, sparking a wave of positive change and empowerment that would ripple across nations and generations. We need to come together. The ability to support and uplift each other is one of the most powerful forces that women possess. By coming together in solidarity, women have the potential to create a network of support that transcends borders and boundaries. This unity can provide women with the strength and courage to challenge systematic inequalities and push for greater representation in all aspects of society. By standing together, women can amplify their voices and demand equal rights and opportunities for all. An example of what women can do together is an organization called Dress for Success. Anybody ever heard of that? The leading global nonprofit employment resource for unemployed and underemployed women. After receiving $5,000 inheritance from her great-grandmother, Nancy Lublin teamed up with 3 nuns and founded Dress for Success in the basement of a Manhattan church. Through their no-fee career development, job skills preparedness and mentoring and coaching, financial education, and professional attire services, the women they served are provided with the tools and skills to achieve economic self-independence. But how successful were they, you might wonder? So since starting operations in 1997, Dress for Success has expanded to 130 affiliates in 20 countries and has helped more than 1.3 million people work towards self-sufficiency. We need to come together. Audre Lorde, a writer, feminist, and civil rights activist, proclaimed, "I am not free while any woman is unfree, even if her shackles are very different from my own." We are all different. We all have our own struggles, but we would all do better together. The collective power of women can lead to creation of new avenues for social change and progress. By collaborating on initiatives that address issues such as gender inequality, violence against women, and barriers to health care, women can drive meaningful and lasting change in their communities and beyond. By pooling their resources, expertise, and experiences, women can develop innovative solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges. Here is another success story. Sarah, Duchess of York, and Dr. Terry Trent came together to encourage and lift up women by creating the Women Changing the World Awards. Their collective vision extended beyond conventional recognition, aiming to amplify the voices of those often overlooked, yet whose contributions are invaluable. Profits from the Women Changing the World Awards go to providing girls with full and part scholarships to enable them to receive support, mentoring, and education through Terry Trent International. By harnessing the power of their collective voices, women can influence policy decisions at local, national, and international levels. Women empowered can advocate for policies and practices that benefit themselves and their communities. Through advocacy, activism, women can hold governments and institutions accountable. By working together, women can ensure that their voices are heard and their concerns are taken seriously by those in position of power. It can happen. We have done it before. We need to come together. It took more than 100 years for women to get the right to vote with the passing of the 19th Amendment. And wow, was that research interesting. And by the way, thank you to my home state of Tennessee for finally stepping up and ratifying that one. They were the last. But think about it. Just how many women had to come together through all of those years to make that finally happen? Some never saw it happen in their lifetime. Are you aware that women do not have any explicit rights in the Constitution or its amendments other than the right to vote? That's the only right we have that's listed in the Constitution. All the rest of it is for the men of the world. We have no rights. Think about it, ladies. We have no rights in the Constitution except for the right to vote. So you might be thinking, well, what about that Equal Rights Amendment that we all heard about? Well, it was first proposed in 1923, which is over 100 years ago, by the way, by Alice Paul and Crystal Eastman. The ERA, as it's called, is a proposed amendment to the U.S. Constitution that would guarantee equal rights under the law for all citizens regardless of sex, aiming to end the legal distinction between men and women. 38 states have ratified the amendment, including Virginia in 2020, which technically means that the requirement for the ERA to become part of the Constitution has been met. So, where is it? I want to know. Do you want to know? Where is it? Why don't we have it? Despite decades of advocacy, the U.S. government has refused to recognize it as the 28th Amendment to the Constitution, even though it met every requirement. They have refused to do it. We need to come together, and that's what we need to come together and do. We can do it. We've done it before. Through unity, collaboration, advocacy, women have broken down barriers, challenged injustices, and driven positive change that benefits all members of society. It's time for women to come together and realize the immense potential they hold to shape the world for all. It's time to come together. It's time to march at the local and national levels. It's time to march. I'm not talking a little march either. I'm talking a really big one. So I got some ideas. See me afterwards. So our next hymn is by Sarah Dan, who travels around the country presenting workshops and worship around building community through music. Sarah is currently the director of music at Star King UU Fellowship in Plymouth, New Hampshire. She teaches piano, flute, guitar, and voice, as well as visiting school groups to open all ages to the power of music. Make peace through music is her motto. And so that hymn is number 1009, Meditation on Breathing. Now, we're going to hold off here. I'm going to give some instructions because while we are doing the meditation on breathing, we have an activity to do. So I'm going to come down here and tell you about that. You all know how much I like rituals. So, we are going to be creating a wreath. And I'm going to lift that up and show it to you for just a second. So for those of you who couldn't see it, it says, UU Women Stronger Together. So each part of this wreath is a symbol for women. And if you want to find out what everything that is here that you can put on the wreath is all about, all you got to do is lift up the sheet that is taped on there and have a look at it. You'll find out some really interesting stuff. So even the little fern pieces are a representation of women. So you're going to come up here in groups of like 4 or 5, as you feel like it, and add something to the wreath. Now, some of the things might need to be hot glued, so that's why we have the hot glue over here. Some of the things that you can do are, there's some beads over there, and you can actually make a word to put on the wreath using those beads and string them up and tie knots and then put it on the wreath. It doesn't have to be perfect, we can straighten it out later, but yeah, come up and put 2 or 3 pieces on the wreath, and then when you are leaving, Tracy's going to give you a gift. So first I would like to invite the women and people who identify as women and girls to come up. And then after that, we will have the men come up. We promise not to use it all up. Yes. Yes, non-binary? Okay, all non-binary as well. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to start the music, but come up as you will. Okay, thank you. And sing along. Sing along whenever you feel like it. Yeah, right there is good. Don't let them leave without one.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe out, breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe in love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Love, La 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 when I leave la 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 I'll breathe in peace and I breathe love, when I breathe in, I breathe in peace and I breathe love, I breathe out love.
Everyone can join now. Everyone can come up. It's like I put the guys in timeout, right? I can't.
La 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 la
I'm gonna stop the music and we'll finish the service while you guys are still doing it. Okay. Now I realize we still have some creating going on down there, which I love. I would like for it to continue. I'm going to go ahead and give the prayer. You guys keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Almighty Creator, we humbly ask for your divine guidance and protection over all women, mothers, daughters, sisters, friends. Grant them the wisdom, courage, and strength needed to gracefully overcome life's obstacles. Let their voices be heard, their dreams be realized, and their potential be unleashed. May they discover joy in their lives, and may they be surrounded by a community that uplifts and supports them in their journey and embraces them with love and encouragement. Shield them from harm and injustice, heal their wounds, soothe their sorrows, and lead them towards a future filled with hope, empowering them to make a meaningful difference in the world. May they be respected, valued, given equal opportunities, and thrive and succeed. Guide them towards paths of peace, fulfillment, and purpose, where they can shine brightly and inspire others. And in times of darkness, may they always find a beacon of light to guide them towards a brighter tomorrow. Amen. We'll leave this up, and you guys can work on it some more if you'd like. But whenever you think it's finished, tell me, because I usually go overboard. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know.